Hey there, I'm Nicole Young, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to make fake ice cream. Before I go any further, let's talk about when it's okay and when it's not okay to use fake ice cream in a photo shoot. First, it's not okay to use fake ice cream if you're photographing ice cream commercially for, let's say, an ice cream company. So if an ice cream company approaches you and asks you to create photographs for their ice cream to advertise their ice cream in like an ad campaign, then it's not okay to use fake ice cream and you have to use the real thing. But it is okay to use fake ice cream in, let's say, an ad campaign where an ice cream cone company or a sprinkle company or a syrup company approaches you and they want to advertise that accessory product for the ice cream. Then you can use fake ice cream and that is totally ethically okay. It's called truth in advertising, and you have to represent the item that you're photographing in your ad truthfully to the consumer. With my photography, most of the time I'm photographing real, actual food that I can eat afterwards, and a lot of the times I actually do. But with ice cream, I'm perfectly okay with using the fake stuff because I don't do commercial photography, and I'm usually just using it as a stock photograph or something on my blog or for teaching purposes. Now, if you're wondering if it's okay for you to use fake ice cream, as long as you're not using the photo for commercial purposes, then you're probably going to be okay. Maybe you are a food blogger and you post recipes on your website. So long as the recipe is not for ice cream, because that probably would not be okay, then you're probably going to be just fine. So maybe you have a recipe for cherry pie and you want to feature the photograph with a scoop of ice cream on the side or right on top of it, then you're probably going to be fine having fake ice cream in that photograph. So then why would you want to use fake ice cream instead of the real stuff? Well, the biggest and most obvious reason is that it doesn't melt. So it's going to be a lot easier to work with. And it also lasts quite a long time on set and on your photo shoot area. So you can really work with it for a while and you don't have to feel rushed once you have everything set up. You don't have to rush it to get that photograph like you would with almost any other food because it's not really going to die on set the way some things would. Now let's talk about the recipe and how you actually make the fake ice cream. So I get my recipe from this book, Food Styling for Photographers. This is a fantastic book if you're a photographer and you want to get more into food photography and you want to learn how to style your own dishes. Now this book has a lot of different tips for a lot of different types of food, not only ice cream, but if you want to check it out, and I highly recommend that you do, the link's in the description. It's probably one of the first books that I got when I really started getting serious about food photography, and it's proven to be a very, very valuable resource. All right, so now let's talk about the actual recipe itself. The main two ingredients is going to be frosting and powdered sugar. I used a 16-ounce can of frosting, and for the powdered sugar, it's not a specific amount. I found that just over a pound of powdered sugar to kind of get a good mix with the frosting to make the right consistency for ice cream. If you want to add color to your ice cream, I recommend getting gel food coloring, and then you'll also need a food processor to mix everything up. So what you want to do is you just want to scoop all of the frosting into your food processor. So try and get as much as you can. And here I just pulsed it a few times to get it kind of nice and creamy so everything else would mix better. Now before you put powdered sugar in, if you want to color it, this is where you want to add the food coloring. So I was going for kind of a butter pecan look, so like a tan or like a really, really light yellow. And so I started out with food coloring called Flesh Tone. And when I mixed that up, it ended up being a little bit too pink. So then I added some yellow to it, or specifically I used golden yellow, and I just did one drop of each of those. And that was enough to get the perfect color that I was looking for. I also wanted to add some nuts to the ice cream. Now my original intention was just to have kind of chunky, crushed nuts mixed in like you would see normally with like a butter pecan style or any kind of ice cream that has nuts in it. And without even thinking, I just put them in at the beginning. And what ended up happening is, and you'll see it when you see the final product, is it kind of pulverized those nuts, and it made them really, really fine little specks inside of the ice cream. And it actually ended up giving it a much more realistic look to the overall kind of texture of what the ice cream ended up looking like. So that was kind of, for me, a happy accident. I end up adding some nuts later on, and you'll see that as well. So once you have the color and anything else that you want to add to it, this is when you start adding the powdered sugar. Now, like I said earlier, you're just going to have to play around with the amount of powdered sugar. So the best way to do that is to add it incrementally. So I added a little bit of powdered sugar, and then I pulsed the food processor, and I repeated this over and over and over until I felt like I had a really good consistency for ice cream. Now, the way to know that you have a good consistency is you're looking for that barking. Basically, when the ice cream breaks along the smooth edges, it kind of looks like bark, and you'll probably recognize this and you'll understand what I'm saying. So the best way to kind of find that and to make sure that you have the best mix is to take a wooden spoon and just kind of brush against it and just see how well it kind of breaks apart when you do that. And you can also bring in the actual ice cream scoop itself to kind of play around with it while it's still inside of the food processor to see if you get that right consistency with it. Now, once you feel like you have the ice cream ready and everything is mixed properly, then you'll want to take a plastic bag. I'm using a Ziploc bag here. Scoop all of the fake ice cream out of the food processor and put it inside of the Ziploc bag. Now, you want to do this right away because this ice cream will harden very quickly, and so you need to make sure that you get it into an airtight environment. And a plastic bag, in my opinion, it works a lot better than just putting it in like a Tupperware or a plastic container, because it allows you to really get a good scoop and mash against the scoop while you're making. And I'll show you that in just a second here. So I put everything into the Ziploc bag, and then this is where I actually added the chunkier nuts that I wanted to mix in with the ice cream. And then I kneaded it as well as I could inside of a plastic bag. It's very difficult to knead it this way, but it still worked. You just mix it, kind of squish it around, and really just kind of form it into a good ball. Here I mixed it a little bit more than I probably needed to because I was trying to integrate those nuts into the ice cream. Now it's time to make the scoops. To get a good scoop, you want to scoop it inside of the plastic bag and mash your hand against the base of it to kind of flatten that bottom out really well. And then I placed mine on paper plates that had a small square of parchment paper, and that just made it a little bit easier to transfer it over to the cone when I was ready to actually put it on my set. So I ended up making 2 scoops, and I also played around with adding some nuts to the scoop after it had actually been scooped and on the plate. But if you want to make any changes to the scoop that you created, you want to do it right away. This is kind of the only time critical moment of creating these ice cream scoops because they will harden very quickly, and once they're hard, you can't really manipulate them very much. Now let me go ahead and discuss my setup and how I actually created my scene to photograph this. So I took an ice cream cone and I just kind of took the bottom of it off. I just bit it off so that way there was a hole right in the middle of it. And I used a popsicle stick and I stuck the popsicle stick down through the middle of it and into a piece of styrofoam that I just had sitting on my table. Now I needed to kind of weigh it down a little bit. So I took a couple of those small flat cans and I put them on either side and I just wrapped them up in paper towels just so they wouldn't get too gross if anything dripped down on top of it. I also took a paper plate and poked a hole in it, and I put that in between everything so that way the cone was on top of it. So that way any syrup or anything that would fall down would fall on the plate and it'd just be easier cleanup afterwards. Now what you can't see here is I took a few paper towels and I kind of shoved them down in the middle of the ice cream cone to keep the popsicle stick kind of just going straight up and not moving around too much. If you have modeling clay or something similar, that would also work really well. You want to really secure the ice cream cone so it's not wobbling too much because the ice cream, the fake ice cream that you're putting on top of it is fairly heavy and it could really weigh it down, especially if you're going to do a really tall cone. You need to make sure you have a very stable base. For my lighting setup, I have an off-camera flash off to the far right, and I diffused it with a shoot-through umbrella as well as a Lastolite tri-grip diffuser. And then for bounce back reflection on the opposite side, I used a very simple setup. I have a piece of white foam board that I folded in half, and then I could just prop it up so I didn't have to hold on to it or anything. And that added some nice bounce back reflection onto the ice cream. Now you'll also see a crumpled up piece of paper towel on top of it, and I just kind of used that as my stand-in so I'd have something kind of bright there to photograph when I was doing my test shots. Once I had everything set up, the lighting and the ice cream cone, I was ready to then bring in my scoops to place them on top of the ice cream cone. So what you don't see is my popsicle, or I guess lollipop stick, that I had sticking through. I left about maybe this much or so. I had about this much sitting on top, enough for both of the cones to sit up one on top of the other and have a little bit of the stick going through it to really give it some support. So I started out with that first scoop, I set it on there, and then I placed the second one right on top. I noticed that there is a little bit of an unnatural gap in between the two scoops, so I took some of the extra ice cream and I just kind of shoved it in there until it really looked good and, you know, kind of looked natural. Now there's still one thing that's missing with this ice cream, and that's the fact that it's not melting yet. So I needed to make the ice cream look like it's melting, because ice cream always melts, even just a little bit around the edges. Making the ice cream look like it's melting is actually very easy to do, especially once you have the ice cream already made. All you need is some Elmer's glue and a little bit of the ice cream that you already created. So here I put a small spoonful of the ice cream in a little dish, and I added some Elmer's glue, and then I just mixed and mixed and mixed, and I had to add a little bit more glue until I got what felt like a good kind of melty consistency. Then I just used a spoon and a little stick to kind of glop the melty ice cream into what felt like a good spot, usually along the edges somewhere where the ice cream is going to melt a little bit faster. If you have a small syringe or a small squeeze bottle, that would make it a lot easier to actually apply the melted parts. I didn't have anything like that, so I kind of had to make do with some other tools. And that's it. That's how you make fake ice cream. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please let me know in the comments. And if you actually use this recipe, I'd love to see your photographs. Just go ahead and share them. Tag me on Instagram or Twitter. I'm at Nicolesy, pretty easy to find there. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you get more videos like this down the road.